They leave home for long stretches, making a sacrifice that many of us cannot even imagine.
New at 11, NBC 24 got exclusive access with local sailors aboard the USS Harry S. Truman. The aircraft carrier was off the east coast of the U.S. when NBC 24's Bri Malaska flew out to join it.
She is live in the newsroom for us tonight to explain how vital the ships are to Navy operations. Bri.
Ryan, these aircraft carrier groups are called the basic fighting element in the U.S. Navy. Now, that's more than just the ship itself. That includes the aircrafts flying on and off it and the men and women serving aboard it. It's a floating city, an airport at sea. The USS Harry S. Truman is one of 11 aircraft carriers currently in the U.S. Navy that can move worldwide in a moment's notice.
The Carrier Strike Group gives us flexibility and agility. This aircraft carrier can operate anywhere, anytime.
We got to fly out and spend 24 hours aboard it. A maze of ladder wells going up roughly 20 stories and miles of passageways. The ship is home to about 5,000 sailors, including Bowser High School graduate Nathan Williams.
It's floating freedom. That's what we all call it. Every time you hear a bird go off the flight deck, that's freedom.
The flight deck spans 4.5 acres and is 1,096 feet long from one end to the other. To put that into perspective, that's as long as the Empire State Building is tall. And though the flight deck may be large, the quarters inside are rather tight. Oh my! Something that Senior Chief Tanya Rogers from East Toledo has experienced on her 4 deployments.
You get to experience meeting new people and really getting close to them, living in small berthings and not really having nowhere else to go except on the ship in different spaces.
The berthings are where the enlisted sailors sleep, usually anywhere from 10 to 100 of them in rather close quarters without much free space to call your own.
And because it's a ship, there's really no extra space.
There are more than a dozen departments on board, each with multiple subdivisions, from pilots to electricians.
The vast majority of motors on the ship are going to have 3-phase motors.
And the workers in the galley that keep the entire ship fed.
And without us, they wouldn't be able to go and do their jobs, and they would be hungry.
That lack of space means there's no room for a B team.
So we don't have a bench. There's no substitutes. Everybody is a starter, and we need every man and woman on board to know their job and to do their job.
And no room for error.
But it is a completely unforgiving environment to any mistake, either human or mechanical, and these young men and women do a phenomenal job every single day.
Now, that was one of the biggest surprises as a civilian going on board was how massive the ship was, yet how tiny the spaces were inside.
Yeah, no kidding, Bri. I was looking at the video and I just felt a little claustrophobic just looking at it. Those spaces are small. It looks like there's more steel than air, and that's definitely got to be pretty hard on the crew.
That's an issue that many sailors run into, being out to sea but not actually seeing the sea every day, let alone daylight. And as you can imagine, that can take a toll on your emotional health. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow night at 11.
Very interesting.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Bri.